Okay, so just going to go over pretty quickly how to analyze the recognition data. So it'll be pretty straightforward. Um, oh yeah, so it's going to be pretty much the same as our DRM analysis, just that there's only three conditions. So if you go and you download this Excel file, recognition results, that's what you need. So there's a whole bunch of stuff here. All you need is the highlighted columns. So just if you're wondering, what I did here was I calculated the proportion of hits, false alarms under the three conditions. So that's what, these are the raw numbers, these are the percentages. And then these are, you have to do some fancy formulas. Norm inverse, that's Z-score. And then remember, it's the subtracting into Z-score. So anyways, don't really worry about that. That part's done for you. So all you really need is these three columns. So the first thing, let's get our averages. So this is the neutral criterion in the yellow. This is conservative, the blue. Green is liberal. So let's get our criterions. So remember, this is going to be equals average. P1 to P9. Hit enter. There you go. And copy that or retype it for these ones. There you go. So what do you notice? Well, our criterion is the neutral condition, that's the yellow. That's about, actually a little bit conservative, but mostly pretty close to being neutral. Remember, 0 is neutral, positive is conservative, and negative is liberal. So positive here, that's conservative, and negative here, that's a liberal criterion. So let's run our ANOVA. By the way, these right here, these are the D prime scores. So remember, criterion, your tendency to respond new or old. This is the actual effectiveness of how well you can tell old from new. So for, I think it was one of the questions, what do you notice here? Well, neutral D is higher, but don't worry about that. That's just because it wasn't counterbalanced properly. So you always got it's kind of a hint here. Both groups, both it's both conditions, because you all did the same stuff. You just did it in different orders. But because there aren't that many people, I just did two versions. So both versions, you did the neutral condition first. So that's probably why D here, telling old from new, is better than the other conditions. Okay. But for one of the questions, notice that, what do you notice here? Conservative D versus liberal D. Sorry, yeah, liberal D. Conservative D and liberal D here. What do you notice about those? What does that suggest? Okay. And by the way, this is not different. Not statistically anyways. Okay, so let's do our ANOVA. So go to VASR stats. It's vassar-stats.net. And then we're going to go to ANOVA. So remember, whenever you have more than two conditions, it's an ANOVA. Whenever you have only two conditions, it's going to be a t-test. So one-way ANOVA, that just means we have one independent variable, which is criterion type. So number of samples, that's going to be 3. And it's going to be correlated because remember, it was repeated measures. Everyone did every condition. It's going to be weighted as always. Then just paste our 3 columns in here, but don't paste the means. So we have this, and the computer's so slow. So grab all of this except for the last number, because again, that's the average. Copy, paste it here. Do the same for the other 2. Just remember which is which. So there's neutral, conservative, and then liberal. Hit calculate. And then there's F. So the F is significant. So remember that just tells us though that 2 conditions differ. Doesn't tell us which 2 conditions, at least 2 conditions differ. Doesn't tell us which ones. So here's your degrees of freedom. These 2 numbers. There's the F ratio and there's the p-value. Okay. So next, we're going to run our t-tests. So we're going to know which 2 groups actually differ. It's just going to be the first one, 2 sample t-test. So first, let's compare neutral to conservative. Correlated samples. There's your t-value, p-value, and your degrees of freedom. Obviously is significant. Okay. Next, let's do neutral compared to liberal. So I'm just gonna run in my. Okay. So conservative, you can just. So now we're doing neutral to liberal. So grab that. So it is significant, but just barely. There's the stuff you need. Okay, and last one, let's do conservative to liberal. There we go. I think that's everything you need. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions. And so don't forget, if you choose to redo your worst assignment, write it based on this recognition memory unit, and then upload it to the original assignment. So when you do better, I'll replace that grade with this one. So You can just look at all those assignments for how long it should be, if there's references required, and stuff like that. If you need to make a bar chart, that will be pretty much all the same formatting, just with different numbers. But like if you're redoing the results section, you can just use these tests right here that we just covered, and also make a bar chart, which will be the same procedure. But if you do have trouble, just let me know. Okay, bye-bye.